Hello again from my front porch at the front porch of a covered bridge. No, not the covered bridges of Madison County in Winterset, Iowa. I am nowhere near Winterset, Iowa. In fact, I'm nowhere near the front porch right now. I am in upper state New York, in the city of Ticonderoga. That's right, Ticonderoga, New York. And I'm here for a very special reason. You're going to see more about that in other episodes coming up. I wasn't even planning on doing this one, but then I saw this and I thought, oh wow, this has got to be in an episode of the front porch because this is really just something pretty phenomenal. I want you to take a look at this waterfall here behind me. Look at that. And according to the information here, this is only half of the waterfall that used to be here. And that this waterfall, actually, it comes from, the water originates from north of Quebec, comes down through Lake Champlain, goes through here, feeds into Lake George, and then all the way down to the Hudson River. But this waterfall here, this fed two different industries in the early industrial age, if you will, when manufacturing plants and companies still got a lot of their power from water, that ran their equipment, and so this particular one here used to be twice as big as this, and it ran two different companies. And it's kind of reminiscent of the Field of Dreams story back in Iowa, the actual, not the movie, but the actual location, filming location, because now in that case there was a little bit of a land rights debate, and so the two people owned parts of the field, and so they wound up splitting it, and there were literally two entrances side by side, just a few feet apart from each other, for you to go to the house and to the center, and would it be the right field, but whatever the side of the field was that way, and then the other road went to the left field, and the crop stuff out there, because the Field of Dreams is not on just one person's property. And so that was, I think that has been resolved. I haven't been back there. That's another good front porch episode, actually, now that I think about it. Let's go up to the Field of Dreams. Why not? But I'm not there. I'm here. The reason I brought up that story is here, there were two different companies on either side of this river, of this body of water, that were using this waterfall, and apparently they literally constructed a divider in the very middle of the waterfall, which is not there now. This is only, again, half of it, but they constructed a divider in the middle of the waterfall to direct half the flow one way and half the flow the other way. That was a way of dealing with water rights, because honestly, you go back to early American history, and some of the most passionate legal battles that happened in early America, some were land related stuff, but a lot of it had to do more with resources, especially like water rights, things like that. And so this is a real life example of that having been the case. Now, at some point, part of the waterfall got kind of absorbed into some other stuff, into some other land there, and now it's just this piece that's here. But man, isn't that glorious? It is absolutely beautiful. And I was just driving by, and I glanced over and I saw that. I thought, oh man, that is so pretty. Speaking of so pretty, driving here, I've never been in upstate New York. If you've ever been to Northeast Iowa and you've driven around up there and you think, oh wow, this is really beautiful, this is really cool up here, and it is up in Northeast Iowa, think of that, but like 100 times better. And the route that my GPS took me here, I found out from the nice proprietors of the motel that I'm staying in, was the more windy option. And I did notice that, but I also noticed it was incredibly scenic. It was so beautiful. Like I said, it reminded me of Northeast Iowa, but ramped way up. And so I did I did do some video while I was driving. Don't panic. For the most part, my hands were not touching my phone. I have this little folding stand that I can set on my desktop, or that I often use actually on the airplane when I'm flying. I set it up and set it on the little tray table thing, and then I put my phone on it to watch movies with my earphones in and stuff. But so I had that long, and I unfolded that and I set it on the dashboard, and I put my phone up on it. Now there were a few times, very few, there were a few times where something that I wanted to show was either higher up or was off to one side or the other, and I did reach forward and I did sort of, but for the most part, I tried to be very safe. But the problem is that stand is not designed for that purpose, and the dash was not completely flat. So you might notice there's some motion to it. But I got to show you. I'm going to show you. And you know, I mentioned that this water here goes from here, and when it leaves here, part of it actually feeds into Lake George. And I drove by Lake George on the way up here. And yeah, there was a beautiful scenic overlook there. So I got some footage here. So here you go. This is, you know what? I'm just going to give you a little montage. This is some selections of that absolutely beautiful drive up here to Ticonderoga, New York. Enjoy. So you can see just how beautiful and scenic that was getting up here. Now, I'm not here for the beauty and the scenery. I'm here for something very different than that. You're going to find out because it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. But this was a nice bonus. All of this. This is awesome. And so I'm glad I saw it, and I'm glad I got to share it with you all too. So, with that, from Ticonderoga, New York, I will see y'all next time from my front porch.